Hi, Burr Stewart here with another ridiculous but fun train video. Look at that F-unit, can you believe it? Oh, and then there's going to be cabooses. Look at that caboose. And a little bit of construction update here. It's about time. And I couldn't stand not showing you some narrow gauge for all this time, so we got back to the narrow gauge scene for a few minutes. And if that weren't enough, Dave brought over his bear tables and ran them around, which was really fun for being able to see into the track when they don't have containers on them. So it's going to be a fun time. Let's get started. Well, Brian has been hard at work detailing this BNSF unit number 702. Boy, isn't that a beauty? I'll show you some still pictures of that in a second. But I wanted you to hear how good the sound is, too. Nice. You've seen these cars in the last video. And look at this caboose. Oh my goodness. Who made that caboose again?
Bruce Barney.
Bruce Barney. And he lives in Portland?
Yeah. It was GM, but I subletted it to GM.
Yep. I've got some of Bruce's cabooses too. This one belongs to Brian, but we'll accept it. It's a gorgeous thing. Here's a close-up of the right-hand side of number 702. No windows. I don't know the story of why they removed them, but this is what you get into if you do prototype modeling, is copying the prototype. Well, now our train is coming through the Argo yard. Isn't that a nice shot with the rotating beacon in the dark there? I don't think I have the light turned on for the yard, but can't win them all. I did that roof weathering. Turned out really well. I just used some flat aluminum paint. Royal brown. And our brand new UP engine terminal, which we've talked about in some recent videos.
Okay, run through here, Dave. I'll buy your hat.
Now the train is moving through the Stacy Street yard in South Seattle. It's really in Seattle, but it's south of downtown. That area is called SODO now, S-O-D-O for south of downtown, but we don't call it that on this 1970s model railroad. Now those crossing bells can get pretty irritating, but I only have 2 out of the 4 of them. On the prototype, there's 4 crossing bells going all at the same time. I'm trying not to talk so that you can hear the engine sounds. This is the Inner Bay yard, of course, in the Dravis Street overpass. I need to find out when the Grand Trunk started that blue paint scheme. Leave me a message in the chat below if you know, because this might be out of era for my 1973 model. So this overpass here is the Emerson Street Bridge. It turns into Nickerson Street in North Queen Anne. I had the roof off the car repair shed, which is a good idea for lighting the inside of it. I never really thought of that. Maybe we'll make a plexiglass roof for that, now that we've gotten into plexiglass.
Three different colors of ballast. Each track has a different color. And then I also, put some wooden pants.
This is bridge number 4, across the Lake Washington Ship Canal at Salmon Bay. As a stand-in for the Ballard Station.
It's nice from down here with little trees.
Yeah.
And now we're passing Golden Gardens Park and heading north towards Carkeek Park. The squealing sounds being provided by the Squealer, an electronics project by Iowa Scale Engineering. Mukilteo.
Yeah, I think that's yeah.
Yeah, we're doing some construction in Everett's Delta Yard, which is why we have a drop cloth there and some paint can.
Yeah.
That doesn't stop us from running trains. That's what I say. The only thing I like better than a good honk is a good bang. That big rock outcropping is not prototypical, but it covers up a 6x6 post that's holding up the whole house, which is also not prototypical, but vital. Nice. I've got a couple minor construction projects to do on this layout, and then I'm planning to turn my attention to improving the sound in some of my older engines. That horn honk we heard practically across the room just for this grade crossing here in the Bayside yard in Everett. One of these days we'll get that Hammerhead RS3 off the layout so it'll stop distracting you East Coasters. My last video shows a bunch of switching in this yard. I'm only concentrating on the right-hand side, but as you can see, there are also 3 tracks on the left-hand side. Those are called the new yard because they were added after the Scott's yard. I would have stopped it right there, but he took another pass around the layout, and I was sitting down at below track level, and I loved this view, so I thought I'd give it to you. The front fascia is so cluttered with car cards and waybills because there's both the narrow gauge and the Delta yard there to handle.
They have cleaned the same works, but it doesn't. You hit a couple buttons and it takes off. And, okay, it's good. It's nice. So it's like using the sound equalizer.
Now this is the end of the peninsula where I've never been able to figure out what to do with the scenery. And I'm still sort of wondering, but I got some of this new green foam, which is environmentally better than pink and blue foam. And I thought I'd try it out and at least improve it some. See, I can still see into the staging yard. If I leave a gap here in the scenery, I'll be able to see there. But it seems to me these 2 tracks that are close together need some rocks and hills between them. Also, I've got a couple of frog juicers that are indicating the position of the switches there in the Woodinville branch, the upper track, and you can see them there on the wall, the green and red lights. I think I'll be able to put a little hole in the scenery just so you'll be able to peek in and see those lights. And so that's what I'm planning to do, just glue these down and we'll be able to make some kind of a hole. Maybe I could even do a fiber optic thing, have it inside a bush so you'd be able to see it, but it wouldn't be too distracting. And that's the Lonestar Cement plant under construction. You can see the prototype photo below that Tim is working on, as well as a sugar plant on the right-hand side, which you can't see. But that's the story on that peninsula. We're doing a little scenery construction, and I'll have more views of that coming up soon, as well as another project I'm doing. So now we're going to spend a little time with the narrow gauge. This was kind of an impulse on my part. I just thought we haven't looked at the narrow gauge for a while, and it's pretty beautiful. And Robin has been working on this rock outcropping here. It's a little strange, blending 2 methods. The bottom part is a chooch casting, and the top part is a spackle type of compound that we found. It's a little strange. But anyway, we're trying to fix it up, and I thought I'd show you that while we enjoyed a steam engine as well. Of course, it was an impulse to show you this, and I didn't do any preparations or track cleaning or wheel cleaning or anything else. There's the rock again, but how can you avoid watching the train itself? Cool. This is a stock Blackstone engine and cars. Wait for it. There, that's the single whistle telling you that we stopped. But what's going on here? We was trying to look at the narrow gauge, and Dave had put his bare tables out and was running them with his modern engines. This is what happens when you let friends come over and play with your layout. You have no idea what's going to go on next. My impulse was to show you the narrow gauge, and here we have something equally cool. I could say that. Equally cool. Look at that. Bunch of bare tables. This is particularly significant to us in the Seattle area because the Burlington Northern Santa Fe, BNSF, has just decided to stop using the interbay yard for switching and just use it for storage of bare tables because they have so much intermodal traffic here in Seattle. We are running it symbolically, but who cares about that? I wanted to show you the narrow gauge, right? And this is what you can do on a 6-inch wide shelf with narrow gauge. You can put some interesting industries in the back, and you still have room to switch them and have a passing siding for meets. This is the town of Hope, as you see. And I just hope that what I'm doing makes any sense to anybody, or at least I get to enjoy it. Now those horn blasts mean we're about to leave. But as I mentioned, I didn't do any preparation, and it just stopped. Oops, look why it stopped. We don't know exactly why, but why was that stock car blocking the train's passage, and why didn't I check that before I left? So I moved the stock car back and tried it again, and it still stalled. So then I got disgusted, and I went down to the Delta Yard area where I had another train, because I really did want to show you a little narrow gauge. So we brought this train in, and I thought, oh, well, this should be good because this particular engine has a keep alive in it, and it shouldn't be so affected by dirty track because we've been doing construction and I haven't cleaned this area. Now that's more like it. Much more like it. Except I didn't check anything, and something went wrong, and the leading wheels were off the track, so it stalled on that switch. So I tried to show you some narrow gauge. We'll get back to that. In fact, I'm working on a video that you'll enjoy of Dave Adams' layout that is really spectacular narrow gauge. Meanwhile, we're going to enjoy these bare tables one more time. Look at this. Holy cow. This is coming through the Argo yard, as you know. You can see my foam scenery there on the upper right that I'm working on. I don't like to have bare scenery. I like bare tables like this, but I don't like bare scenery. It's nice to shape and paint your scenery as quickly as you can so you don't distract your photos of the layout. Very nice that Dave brought a end of train device to put on this train, so it really looks pretty cool. Again, this is Royal Brougham, which should have crossing bells on it, but I can't figure out how to detect for all those tracks at once. Dave has been working on this Milwaukee engine terminal down on the lower level. Very nice. It's turning out beautifully. It's right underneath downtown Seattle, as you see. And this is where our bare tables are now arriving. This is going to become a more common sight in downtown Seattle because the railroad, as I mentioned, is going to be using interbay for storage of bare tables. So I'm not sure if we're celebrating this change or bemoaning it, but in any event, these are pretty cool. A whole string of bare tables. Nice, and there's our end of train flasher. One more time through Royal Brougham, I just wanted to show you one of the cool things about bare tables is you can see through all those big openings in the bottom and admire your track work while you're watching the train pass by. Isn't that fun? I enjoy that on the prototype as well when I'm rail fanning, looking down from a bridge or something like that. And the different cars have different structural members in the bottom, which is fun to see too. If you come visiting Seattle, there's a huge marina near the Ballard Locks in Bridge Number 4, and Seaview Avenue, that road in the foreground, is how you get there. That would have been fun to model the marina, but that's a whole different hobby. I think the last time we ran an intermodal train like this, we had containers in it. And this is kind of fun to see the bare tables. And you wouldn't necessarily see that in the middle of the country so much. Although they may move bare tables around as needed, depending on traffic. Anyway, we hope that you enjoyed seeing this bare table action today, even though it completely doesn't fit in with a 1970s operation. It is fun with model railroading, and I call this channel Much Fun with Trains for a reason. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out many of the other videos on the channel. This is only number, 128, and there are lots of other similar videos. Here I'm showing you bloopers where I tried to get this train to go farther, but I hadn't checked the leading wheel, so it just would not cooperate. So in the meantime, hoping that you enjoy your bare tables and your bangs, this is Burr Stewart wishing you much fun with trains.